the biggest stuff that people want to know, kind of where the revenue was to kind of where it is now. We were like consistently, I would say, seeing kind of 20s on new patients. And then since working with yourselves, we're now consistently in the 40s, which is amazing. But I think the biggest change for me personally is that before I was doing everything. And it's been such a change with the fact that I just don't have to think about it.
Hello and welcome back to another client interview. We have one of our wonderful clients who's had an incredible journey, which I'm so excited to go into, which is Hannah from Pure Chiropractic. Welcome, Hannah. How are you?
Hi, yes, I am very well, thank you. Yeah, I'm doing great.
Good. So for everyone that doesn't know Hannah yet, she has a very incredible practice in Bournemouth, so very close to me, which is very nice. I still haven't come and seen the practice in real life, even though I've literally been like so close to it so many times. I need to, but yeah, really close to where I'm based, and yeah, had a really cool journey over the last 6 months, which is how long we've been working together. We met at the UCA CE, which was nice to see you there. We started then working together in November. We've had a really nice journey since then, and yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to going through it with you. To dive in, I guess the first bit would be like, it'd be nice to kind of talk about where you were and then where you're at right now. So what's been the change in the last 6 months in terms of numbers, in terms of team, in terms of revenue, new patients, all of that sort of stuff?
Yeah, for sure. So I think, the biggest stuff that people want to know, I think, is kind of where the revenue was to kind of where it is now, and kind of, the numbers. And so we were like consistently, I would say, seeing, within the high kind of 20s, on new patients, and then since working with yourselves, we're now consistently in the 40s, which is amazing, and our revenue has increased by like 10k easily over that time. But I think, which is fantastic, and all of that stuff is great, and it's meant that we're consistently making a profit now and stuff like that. But I think the biggest change for me personally as a business owner is that before I was doing everything. So, I was running my my Facebook ads, I was doing all the internal campaigns, I was and then all the rest of the stuff that comes then with owning a business as well. And it's been such a change over the past 6 months with the fact that I just don't have to think about it. And funnily enough, all of this change that's happened has purely come just from the Facebook ads, because I actually, although I've had a lot more time, I actually haven't ran any internal campaigns. We've had a couple of screenings, but it's actually then allowed me time to focus on other stuff in the business, which, long term is going to help it grow, that I just had no time or capacity to do before. And I think that's the best thing for me. It's made work more enjoyable. It's made running a business more enjoyable, because, to be quite honest, I was at a point where I was like, do I even want this business anymore? Like, I was thinking about, like, I just don't want this stress of finding these new clients for all of these associates all the time. I'm like kind of done with it. So that's then, since working with you guys, I've had this massive shift, and I'm just in love with my practice again. Just loving doing all of it, and just having more time and capacity. So although new patients increased, revenues increased, the best thing that's happened is that I'm in love with my practice again, and it's created me more time. That's probably been the best thing for me.
I think a lot of people don't look at that benefit enough in terms of like how much headspace it just frees up. And like when you free up like a founder of a company and the CEO and the person who's running it, free up so much of their time, they can put that into the highest leverage activities. And I know you've made some really big plays over the last 6 months, which we probably won't go into all that, like very technical and the tough decisions you had to make over the last 6 months. But it allows you to do that, which I think also helps you really transform the practice. Now profitability is way higher, than it was,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
which is really 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 good. And
Yeah.
so I guess obviously we've played a part into it, but I do think from working with you, you definitely have a really great mindset and view of business, since like in terms of risk taking and the tolerance of that, like I would say it's one of your best skill sets. I don't know how you feel about that, but like when we were working together, you were just like on the first call strategy session, you were just like, boom, yes, let's 100% do it. Like you were right there then, and I was just like,
Yeah.
okay, cool. Like it was such an easy call. It was like I was like, this is great. But where does that come from?
Oh God. I mean, people do always say to me all the time, they're like, how do you deal with so much stress? Because you're absolutely right. Like in the past year, my business has changed completely. Like I changed the direction of where I wanted to take it, and like my whole team left. And I had to kind of start from scratch again. I had to go back full time. I'm a mum of two very young children, 3 and 4. So I think I've just kind of it's always been something where I'm like, if I get a good gut feeling about it, I'm like, well, let's just do it, like, and we can always change it. I think I've made enough mistakes in my time as well that I'm just like, I mean, I've recovered from them. So it's kind of like, if it was going to be a mistake, then we can recover from that and make a change. But something felt right, and I was just like, let's just go for it. So yeah, I think that's always like a thing. I think because I've made so much change, I'm just used to it now, and I just know that, well, you can just change again and adapt if something's not working. So yeah, I think it's just I think it's just built in me a bit that I can tolerate a lot and a lot of stress and a lot of things going on, but also as well, I think just because, I mean, I've had my business 8 years now, maybe 9.
Gosh, this keeps going.
9 years, I think, yeah. And I
Wow.
mean, it's been through a whirlwind of change through that time. I think I've probably done every change that a business could possibly do. So I'm not afraid of it anymore. So, and I know that I can change and adapt if I need to, if something's not working. But yeah, then when it is, great.
It's I don't know if you're doing this intentionally, but there's this thing that Jeff Bezos talks about, which is like type 1 and type 2 decisions. Have you ever heard of that before?
I think vaguely, yeah.
I'll explain, because practically what you're doing is exactly that. Like, so you've got like, I might get it the wrong way around, but we'll say type 1. That's the ones where you can like, you can take the decision, but you can always revert it. Like working with us, like, you can work with us for 12 weeks. If it's not amazing, you can stop. Whereas like a type 2 decision is like, oh well, I'm going to move across a country and set up a clinic in another location. Okay, that one you want to take a little bit more time on that decision, because that one you can't revert back to as easily. So you're very good at like those sort of, and I might have got it the wrong way around, but I think there's type 1 decisions where it can be reverted quite easily, and it's not going to have like a huge impact, and it's not a massive risk. Just like taking it and just ripping the band-aid off and just getting the benefit from it very quickly.
Yeah.
So you mentioned, and I know this, but you revamped, like you've got a whole new team. Is that all in the last year? You have like an entirely new team, or was it last 2 years or so?
Yeah. So it was from last summer. So yeah.
So 1 year.
Summer. 1 year. 1 year, yeah, and actually had a whole all new front desk team of changed as well. That was for other various reasons, but yeah, I actually have me and one other chiropractor, whole new team. So yeah,
Wow.
yeah, I know.
And so, was it like when you originally, like when your original team left, was it them leaving or you letting them go? And like that was like, how did that work? And like, what was the reason? Because it seems like it kind of fell apart, or in a good way though, because you shifted direction of the way you're running the practice. Is that right?
Yeah, so yes, so a lot of the way I was running the practice started to change, and also just like the direction I wanted to take the just practice itself and how we work as chiropractors, and it had been one way for such a long time, and actually I'd been quite not distant from the practice, but you know, I had two babies within the space of, you know, 15 months apart. I wasn't really at the practice, so they were kind of running it, and then I came back and I was like, want to run things differently now. I want to do things differently, and some people are on board with that, and some people adapt to change really well, and then some people don't. So those people just ended up leaving, and I got new people on board that, you know, I'd become so solid in my new vision and what I wanted to do and where I wanted to take the practice, that, you know, it was the best thing really, because then I've got all these new people who are really and totally on board with exactly where I want to take the practice, what I want to do, and, you know, they're all helping grow it as well. So it was actually it was sad, really, really sad at the time, because some people that left I had built a really great relationship with, and, you know, still really respect them now, but for what I wanted to do, it was probably the best thing. That I ended up starting with a new team, but it did feel like we were starting again after like 8 years in practice. I was like, okay, it's like we're opening up a new clinic again. So
it's such a great example of like going down to go up, and like now your foundation is so set. Like you did 1 year of pain, and like maybe you if you kept with the previous team, you probably would have made more money over the last 12 months, maybe a bit more profit. But now long term, over the next 10 years, 20 years, you're going to be providing a better service, more profitability, enjoying it a lot more, which you can clearly see from now. And I've seen a big shift in you as well, in the last 6 months especially. So I think it's a really great example of like making the decision for a long term, which not everyone is able to do. So well done.
And then thank you. And then, like I say, I think I've met everything that could possibly nearly happen has happened. So I'm kind of like nothing phases me anymore.
I love that. Really good. Really, really good. Now, Hannah, I have my part where I ask you to sell the service for me. I don't know if you've ever seen where I ask clients about how the service has been before we jump off it. I guess, how have you found working with us so far over the last 6 months?
I think like I say, obviously coming up to this call, I was like starting to reflect on it, and I think, you know, initially kind of going in, it was like, you know, and I with you guys, I like started at a time which is one, tough for just ads and chiropractors in general coming up to Christmas time, like, you know, people have got Christmas, but also I'm in a really competitive area. Like there's so many chiropractors down here, that it was like, you know, you jump in and you're like all guns blazing, and it's like, you're gonna give us all of these amounts of patients, and it was like I had to kind of give it time, you know, and we had a kind of great call about that. And I think that's one of the nice things as well, is that like you took the time with me, you listened to kind of any kind of questions or concerns I had, spent extra time with me if needed, so that we were really kind of definitely on the same page, and I think that was really nice as well, that you created that space and energy that I felt like I could have those conversations, rather than just being like, oh no, I think this is done now, or we're not going to carry on, or whatever. We were able to have that, work through it, and now great that we did, because, you know, because you did that, it allowed me to then create a bit more time with you to then kind of be like, whoa, no, actually we found our bit now, which took some you know, a few months to find, but we found the stuff that's really working for my clinic now. So, you know, that's one of the biggest things. You know, we had that great relationship to start off with. It was nice that I'd met you in person as well. So I know that most people are like, obviously they come to you because they're like, I want more new patients, I want more revenue, and so on. But I also think it's so important about the relationship you kind of build with someone as well, and you're not just like although, you know, you're growing and you're doing so well and you've got a lot of clinics within the company now, is that you're still so good at building relationships with your clients and the people that you're working with. You know, the regular calls, you know, I'm working with Bailey now. He's absolutely fantastic. You know, anything I need is on it straight away. I had an issue the other day. He called me straight away, sorted it out. And the fact that we get to speak every kind of 2 weeks, just make sure we're keeping on top of things, and stuff like that. So, you know, the people can look at your numbers. They you know, at the clinics, they kind of speak for themselves, really, with regards to numbers wise. That works. But I think the thing that helps you guys to stand out is definitely the relationships that you're building with your clients, the time that you spend with your clients, and that, yeah, there's just still that personability there if you need anything to change and so on, but also that you can just be very hands-off if you do need to be as well. It's like, all I really do is send a couple of updated videos every now and again, and it's like kind of, you know, just all done, which is exactly what I needed. And then if I need to dip in a little bit more, then, you know, I can do. So yeah, I would say that's the biggest thing that I think helps you guys to stand out from other companies.
Thanks so much. Yeah, it's something we do invest in highly. So we have two people on the client success team. So you're with Bailey and we have Beth as well. And like, yeah, those guys are really like on it every 2 weeks talking. Call, like if you could get a call, like if you needed a call today, you could get a call today with Bailey, probably in the next hour or two if he's not on too many meetings. But yeah, I think that is something we really love to prioritize. You wouldn't have ever really experienced this probably, but like for any client of ours, because we see that the check-in calls, like once every 2 weeks, makes a huge difference in terms of performance. So if you weren't to show up to like your check-in calls and book them in, like you'll be getting spam called, because we'll be on it because we know how important the communication piece is. It's almost like we're trying to like close a sale. We'll be on it so much because it just literally, like, our best performing clients are like so consistent with communicating with us, speak to us every 2 weeks, and it means we can stay in the loop and catch any concerns early. Whereas if they're not, then they're going to be getting spam called because we want to get them on the call and see how they're feeling, because it's so important to us, because we want to make sure everyone's really happy with what we're doing. But thank you so much for jumping on, Hannah. Is there anything else you'd like to add? You can also promote something as well. If I had someone yesterday, I had Magda, who I did a client interview with, and she's selling her practice, so she was promoting that she's selling it. So yeah.
I actually don't at the moment. No, I'm definitely not selling my practice. I'm definitely keeping it. I'm in love with it again. So yeah, that's going nowhere. So no, I don't have anything that I would like to promote. But thank you for giving me the opportunity to, if I did. But yeah, no, this has been great, and it's been a nice reflection for me of kind of how far we've come over the past 6 months. So yeah, thanks.
It's been really great, and thank you so much for jumping on.
Yeah, no worries.
Thank you for watching, everyone. Bye bye.